What's going on, guys? Dan back after a few long months of not doing anything really. I was supposed to make an update video probably a few months ago, never got around to it, so this is that update video. For background, I moved like shortly after making that first video. I then started working a night shift, working like 12 hours, 7/12s. Really took up a lot of time, so I didn't have much time to document stuff, but that does not mean the TSX didn't get the work. So this is my to-dos for the car. I think last video I was waiting to get tuned, and I think I might have still been on 93 octane. No longer the case. I'm on E85 now. The car put down at the dyno a few months ago 408 to the wheels, 408, and then 330 torque. Through an auto was pretty impressive, plus the tuner said that his dyno reads a little lower, so I mean, take that as you will, maybe 450-ish horsepower to the wheels. Anyways, I wanted to show you guys kind of what's new on the car. Nothing's really changed from last time. I mean, I'll go through kind of what I've changed since the last video, what has kind of been an issue, and then just some general like little piddly stuff that like I've been doing, trying to clean the car back up, you know. I kind of gave this thing like a half-ass engine bay detail. Not really noticeable, but I mean like little stuff like this got cleaned up, you know, stuff like that. It's kind of late right now, so I'm just kind of holding the light on everything. So I'll start off with this. I mean, if you follow my Instagram, you saw I put a fuel pressure gauge on. I did that. I really wanted to monitor, make sure fuel was good on the next dyno session. So yeah, I may have covered this, but the heater lines, I ran the heater lines. I did a custom job, just straight hose, 90s, stuff like that. It's kind of, you know, in Illinois it gets a little chilly in the spring and fall, but it's still nice enough to drive, and it's nice to have some heat. So. Continuing on, I mean, I put my intake on. I think that was in the last video. I'm not sure. And then, yeah, just fuel pressure gauge, and then the big change issue I guess I had was really not a huge one, but so this guy right here is my fuel line. You can see kind of down in there. So the 45s now, but before it was sticking out straight. It was a rubber line. It said it was rated for E85. You can see I got the quick connector. Stick you guys back there. The purple guy right here. That's the quick connect to the fuel line. I went and saw a leak probably a month and a half ago, and then I pulled the fitting apart, and it completely fell apart, telling me that the hose was not rated for 85. So, long story short, I put on a PTFE line, rated for temperature, rated for ethanol. We get really freaking good ethanol up here. I mean, I think I put it was like 84% ethanol I put in this thing the other day, so it'll definitely chew through the line pretty quick. So I did that. I think in store for the car, which isn't really on the docket on the whiteboard, is AN10 line, feed line. Probably should add that. Yeah, actually I do have it, but this should be AN10 feed. So I'll do that at some point, but as far as power goes, it's running really good. The car's running insanely good right now. Knock on wood. It's been doing great though. Big update, if you watch my last video too, is the wheels. So I am no longer monster truck spec. So these are MB Battles, actual MB Battles, not the Motegis. MB Battle 18x9 plus 30. These tires that are on here right now are temporary. So these are like kind of what these two on the front came with the car. Yes, these are curbed. And yes, I curbed this one accidentally. Not the greatest. But hey, you know, it is what it is. That's a 225, but if you come over here, it's a scooter. 245, 45, 18s, I believe. 245, 40, 18s, actually. Dunlop Smart Maxes. These puppies are getting mounted this week on these wheels. In my opinion, I think the MB battles complement the car a lot better. I think it kind of goes with the look a lot better, in my opinion. Fitment's better, all that good stuff. So yeah, that's kind of like what's known. Now, kind of get into the other stuff. I have the RL brakes kit ready to go. So I just went through today cleaning this garage up, and I need to make sure that all this stuff's in order. But you got your 350Z track package rotors, Brembo brakes for the RL calipers, stainless lines, the brackets come with the bolts and everything, new washers, all that good stuff. And then here's the calipers I'm going to be using. Don't mind my mess. But I just painted these Acura RL brakes, just caliper paint black. I'm gonna probably try and put these on in the next few weeks. I need to get, the last things I need is really hub-centric ring and I'm blanking. I may get, okay, so I really just need the ring and then potentially need a hardware kit, which I can go probably to the local parts store and get that. So that's a big one. That'll be like cleaning up that front a lot and give me some better braking. The other shitty part, I guess, or the one shitty part, is that on this side, on the driver's side, I had an ABS sensor go bad, and then it broke off in the hub. So it's just like stuck in there, which is not ideal. But I have a new wire, so I will be doing that at some point. Probably when I do the brakes. Got to drill out the old fitting or old plastic piece, and it's just a nightmare because like you wish that stuff would just come out, but yeah, Midwest winters. The next thing I'll go through, which is kind of like in light of like things that aren't like necessary, but I really want to get done just because of drivability and just looks and stuff. This guy. This is a Vibrant TPV muffler. It's, I think, 18 inches long or 16 inches long or something. And this, we're gonna put a V-band on it with a little putt piece of pipe and then a hanger. And then it's gonna go, I'm gonna scoot you down here. And it's gonna go right in here. So I didn't really highlight this last time, but this exhaust was done by RC Auto Works in Bridgeview. And I asked them to put a V-band right here. And then, you know, there's one hanger over here. You can kind of see it poking out. The reason I wanted to do that is exactly what I showed you, is I can then put a muffler on a V-band. I can put the V-band on the muffler and swap out. It's basically like a poor man's cutout, except it's manual labor instead of electronic valves. So that is like something I really want to do. It's kind of going to be a little bit of an experiment for me because I've never done TIG welding, and I'm going to try and do it myself instead of paying someone to do it. I think it'd be a good like harmless chance to try TIG welding in an actual application. I did it when I was at school, but yeah. Anyways, kind of like going through the list though. I mean, muffler fab. Once I get the tires mounted over there, I mean, alignment is absolutely needed. It's going to be a different fitment. I'm going to go a little less camber in the front and in the rear. And the rear's not too bad, but the front definitely a little bit less camber. Be more of a meaty setup. The other thing, audio-wise, is I've got these Duff Bond Sylvester 6.5 speakers. I do want to put them in. The only thing is that, and I'll show you guys, I had this kind of screwed up. On the 4-channel amp, I have a Down for Sound 4-channel amp, and it is, how do I say this? You need 2 sets of RCAs to run this amp. Some amps will go like 2 4-channel mode, whatever. This is, you need, you know, it needs 4 total RCA wires or 2 signals, 2 sets. So, for some reason, I'm using these shitty splitters, which I really need to upgrade and or run just a new RCA, but for now it works. But as you can see, I'll put this right here. This set is connected to, well, it's impossible. Here we go. So this set on the bottom is connected to one wire. This set on the top is connected to the other wire. So it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I had it like up and down. I had like 1, 2, 3, 4. So what that meant is like the right and left like was not playing right. I was missing frequencies. I was like, this amp is messed up or something. And then I was driving to work one day and I flipped it and it was, there it is. And now it just sounds amazing. I'm not going to play it. It's kind of late. And also like YouTube, any video does not do it justice. So if you guys in the Chicago area, we can set up a time. You can come listen. Anyways, other little thing I did, I LED'd the world. So like all of the lights in this car now have LEDs, interior lights, which if you haven't done it yet and you're a TSX guy, you need to do it. Or any car for that matter. It just, I mean, I don't know, man. It just hits different. The clean, crisp white look, it just looks great. I think I have like one more light that I gotta flip, and it's that one, and I'm gonna do that as this video ends. Unless it's the same one that I had to buy for the map lights, because then it's like not a 193, whatever. But I mean, y'all have seen this before. I mean, the VXF, that's nothing new. I forgot to say something. So, I do have one kind of scary thing. I was driving the car one day and the fuse for the fuel pump popped, so this right here is my fuel pump wire. And what I noticed is that when it popped, I felt it and it was warm. And what that means is that this section of wire relative to this section of wire is thinner, has less copper, which means it's kind of acting as a resistor. And also these kind of suck too, like they have a lot of resistance. And so when this car is running, and I haven't checked with like the new fuel line or anything, the pump's obviously drawing a good bit of amperage. So this guy is acting as a giant resistor, and it's absorbing, it's, you know, it's creating heat because of the resistance. This wire is fine, right? Like everything, this is like the thin point. So the plan is to upgrade this wire so that it's not getting hot and I don't have an electrical draw risk. The car did have a little bit of hiccup on the dyno. Up top, it seems to break up a little, like it's losing fuel pressure, or losing, you know, running out of fuel, which would make a lot of sense because it's E85 and I'm returnless, like I don't have a return fuel system. So this pump is like working its ass off, and I'm not surprised it's drawing a lot of amperage because the car is asking a lot for a lot of fuel, I should say. So those are like their big things. I mean, tires, suspension, I'm gonna like, you know, dial in the height when I get the new tires on the wheels. I'm going to adjust my suspension, get an alignment once the tires are mounted. I want to fabricate the muffler. I want to get that on. The car sounds good straight pipes, in my opinion. It is still a 4-cylinder turbo. It's a 4-cylinder at the end of the day, so like when you're high in the RPM, it's kind of ignorant. The muffler will give it a little better tone. I'm going to make a video when I do the big brakes on the RL stuff. I think I'm going to love it. I know that some guys have done it, and you have a little more travel because the master cylinder is not as big on the TSX. So, and then yeah, like little maintenance stuff, right? ABS wire, fuel pump wire. I'm eventually going to do rust repair. I think that's going to be a winter thing, if I'm going to be honest, because I do not want to put this thing up for weeks on end while it's nice out. As you know, I've gone through this in the first video. I've had 3 engines of this thing by now, and I just enjoy driving it. So I am trying to put some of the interior back together. So, you know, these seats are pretty dirty, but the seats are in. Little trim pieces, invest in that. So anyways, like and subscribe if you haven't already. I do plan on posting this summer a lot, and then throughout the winter. I do apologize. I was kind of late with posting this update, but if you stuck around this long, the next project really is to start tearing this K24A down. It's a JDM motor, but as you know, if you watch my last video, this engine lost compression in a cylinder, and I think it's at the point where I can still save it. So the plan is to really tear this down. Pistons, rods, maybe do some head work. If I can find a K20 head, I will. Type S oil pump, like the fixins, you know. Basically a 600 horsepower capable K24. And that will be the backup engine. And obviously, as you know, my TSX is auto. So along with that, I will also be trying to source another automatic transmission and using the Translab valve kit for that trans, and then run strictly race ATF. I'm running regular like Honda ATF DW1. It's fine. I mean, it's got a cooler. It's working. So, anywho, like and subscribe. Like I said, I'll be posting a lot more.